Every now and then you find a movie from the 90s that actually is worth watching, and this is no exception. This is Ambulance from 1990. Granted, some people will argue that the 80s carried over a few years into the 90s, so screw it. I'd say that this still qualifies. This this was a great film. This was a ton of fun. It it's all about this guy who is trying to okay, pursue this woman that he's seen so many times, and he's really interested in her. And the one day he gathers up the courage to go speak to her and try to get some information and get a date. He he ends up watching her collapse onto the ground, falling ill from some kind of weird ailment, but no one knows what it is. He doesn't know what to do. And this really old ambulance shows up and takes her away. And then when he tries finding her again, he can't find her in any hospital, and no one has any record of her arriving. And this prompts him to do an investigation to find this woman that he so desperately wants to have a date with. Which I guess could be construed as creepy, but honestly, I would want someone to come after me with as much persistence as this guy does, because he really goes the extra mile to try and find this woman because he believes that she is in trouble. And given what you know about this channel, she is. So, here's the thing. This has some great dialogue and fantastic characters. It helps add to the charm because there is just so many lines in this film that I love. The way that the characters really are played with in this movie is fantastic. And the lead is a lot of fun. He's very energetic. He's really funny. And to be honest, this has got a bit of an extra appeal to it, especially now. Because the main character works in Marvel Studios, and his boss is Stan Lee. And we get at least 2 scenes with Stan Lee, and I think 3 in the studio. And that in itself is worth the price of admission, because seeing Stan Lee when he was back in the 90s, still fairly, well, he was younger. He wasn't young, but seeing him before old age had really taken its toll on him, seeing all of the different comic books and artwork splashed across the brick walls, seeing all the sketch work, it was great. Now, that's not the mainstay of the movie, I know that, but that was just so cool to see. And I would love it if more movies would try to get you into places that no one really sees at all. But back to the main part of the story. I love how cheesy it can get. It can be really tacky at times with some really weird moments, but it this film's kind of weird in itself. Its characters are really out there. And I love that about this. I love how it manages to be distinct by being fun. And the only negative I can really say is the story is a little rough around the edges, but ultimately this is a fun and energetic film. It's great if you're having a bad day. You can watch this, have a ton of fun, and just kick back for a while. And I give it a 9 out of 10. This was a great watch for me, and refreshing considering some of the movies I've been watching. Now for the 31-day challenge. This is one of Larry Cohen's films, so I can take that off the list. Other than that, I really can't take anything else off because I don't think this was ever a TV movie. And I got one specifically picked out for that category. So I will leave that for a little later. But as for right now, I will see you in the next one.